Hello again. Today I thought I'd make another potting up video. So I had this pot last year. It's a really nice, real heavy glazed ceramic, and it had a sort of a torch cactus of, I'm not sure what exactly it was, but it was about, I don't know, I'd say 1.5 feet tall, and it didn't make it through the winter. It rotted, sadly. So I'm going to pot this up today with some other stuff that I have sitting around. And here's what's going to go in it. I have a little bit of blue elf left that I've already trimmed up, cut off the dead blooms, and you know, it had some straggly roots and stuff, and this one was doing really good, so that'll look good in there. And then I have this really small mangave lavender lady. This will get quite a bit larger, so it won't be able to stay in there for too long, but if I can get a year or two out of it before I have to move it, that would be great. And it's really healthy little plant, but I did trim it up. It had a lot of dead leaves around the bottom. It didn't look good when I bought it, but I knew that as it grew it would start to come back, and it is. It has a lot of new growth. And then I have 2 small pots with the Aeonium kiwis. I have these 2, I always call them tiger jaw, but Fockeria tigrina or tigrina variegata. Those have been sitting out here for quite a while, and I forgot I had them, so those will go in. I have a string of pearls here to hang over the side for my spiller, and I'll probably put it on the back of the pot, keep it out of the sun, because it won't take our summer here. And then I had another pot of these aloe distans, so these will go in there too. Okay, let's get started. I think I'll go first with this aloe distans, and I'm going to put all of them in there just because, as you can see, they are pretty root bound, but that's okay. I'm just going to break them up a little bit. I don't want to disturb the roots too much. I got a lot of pups on here, and you know, it's looking really good. So I'm going to stick this in this back corner on the side. I'm kind of going to plant it up a specific way so that when I set it over on the ground where I'm going to put it, I'll have all the plants where I want them. So I'll tuck that in there, and then we're going to go and let's go with, which way are we going to go? I think I want to maybe put the string of, let's go with the string of pearls. This will be fun getting these out of here, because I had this sitting, these have been in this pot for quite a while, and they're pretty fragile, so you got to be really careful with them, but I should be able to get them out pretty easily without breaking too many off. I can hear the roots in there crackling, so I know it's really well rooted in here. And this was actually 2 small pots that I stuck together because they just kept drying out. I kept forgetting to water them. All right, so get those all out of there. I did break a lot of the roots off. They're still in the pot, but I think the plant won't care. So what I'm going to do is figure out which is the rooted parts. So quite a bit of it is. Ooh, there's a little piece of cactus. Oh, no, that was a flower. So I think if I put it here and get the rest of this, where's the rest of it? Okay, here's another big chunk. So I think these were all all rooted cuttings that were in that little pot. So this is kind of the way they've grown. And there was only a couple of pieces that were actually hanging over the edge. So what I need to do, I believe, if I just add a whole bunch more dirt, I think I can just sit it right here up on the surface. And any pieces that break off, I'm just gonna lay them back on the surface. But I knew I was gonna make a mess out of this one, but I really needed to get it out of that pot because I was always forgetting to water it. So we'll hang that over the edge. Oh, that's got some roots on it. Pull those off, let that hang over. And then a lot of this. I'm just going to try and keep as much on the surface so these roots don't dry out as I can, but still get it to kind of want to hang over. They're actually a little bit tougher than you would expect them to be. I'm used to donkey tails. As soon as you touch them, you know, if anybody ever grows those, they fall apart. As soon as you touch them, those little leaves just fall off. And so they're really frustrating to work with because you feel like you're just doing more damage than good whenever you do anything with them. Get some more soil down in there, tuck those roots back under. And hopefully I'll get enough of the roots covered in here so that they don't dry out. And hopefully these actually they seem to grow better in the fall when it really starts cooling off, and then early in the spring. So this is not probably a good time to do this because we're going to be coming into summer in another month here. We're in Northern California. Right now it's cool. We got about another week of temperatures in the 70s, and then it's going to go up in the 80s. And then I believe that there was actually, we're going to hit 90s again, which we had a week where we were like, ouch, 94 every day, but that didn't last. So we'll work on these a little bit more after I get a couple other plants in. And all I'm really trying to do is keep the little round leaves up on top and get the roots buried. So over here, let's go with the let's go with this let's go with the kiwis. Let's put these kiwis down on this side over here. And again, these are all, it looks like these were all rooted cuttings in this little pot. So I'm just going to leave them just like that instead of disturbing their roots at all, because they look really good. I don't want them to suffer and pout, which they will. So we'll get these in here, some dirt up in here, hold those up. So that'll hold those in there. I need to get a little bit of soil here on this other side. Can you still see what's going on? Okay, get some dirt down in there. Trying to keep too much off the actual plants because then I have to pick it out later to clean them up. So that's probably good for those. Stuff them in there good. Keep bumping you. Alrighty, and now let's see. I think I'm going to put this blue elf right in the middle. So I already pulled this out and cleaned them up, and you can see all these new roots that have grown out since I originally separated these from the big pot of blue elf that I had, most of the rest of which I put in the ground. So I'm going to stick this, I think, right up against here, and cover those roots up first. Make sure they're all protected so they don't dry out, because although it's not too hot here, we do get very dry. We don't have humidity here really to speak of. Temperature's pretty dry here in Northern California. And we're near Sacramento, so we're kind of in the middle. Okay, I like that. I need that to stand up a little bit more, but I don't want to damage my pearls. And then I think I'm going to go with this lavender lady. You can see this plant was pretty root bound. It's been in that pot for months, and I think I'm gonna put it there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it right there. So I'm gonna break these roots up over here so I don't make too much of a mess, because I need a little more. It's kind of too thick. Get all that soil out of there. These roots are really dry, so I'll probably, since I'm not putting anything in as cuttings, I can water this in really good when I'm done. Get a lot of soil over there. Tuck this in. I'm gonna have to shake it a little and get that dirt down in those roots, because that was all that dirt was really dry. I clearly haven't watered this one in a while, and everything just fell out, so it was just bare roots, which is fine because that gives me more room to work with. And that looks cute. I like that. And then I want to kind of protect these little tiger jaws, because they are not used to the sun, and they've been kind of a little tucked away in my front porch area. So I think if I put them up under here, they'll get a little protection from the sun, and I will be able to hopefully keep some of that variegation, because a lot of plants will lose their variegation when you expose them to full sun. Not all of them, but some of them. And the guy that I bought these from told me that that might be the case with these, so he said really try and protect them. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm making a mess in here because I can't really get my hands in here, but that's okay. That's okay. So, and I think what I'll do is just leave this little part open, and that way I can put a little bit of top dressing rock on there. Oh, I feel like I need some more soil down under here, but how to get it in there, that's the trick. All right, I need to tuck you up a little bit more, and you need a little more soil. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw some on the top of these pearls here and just kind of try and shake it down in there, and hopefully I won't dry them out too much, and they'll come back and not just die on me. I have a hard time with the string of pearls. I know a lot of people do too, but okay. I'm not really sure why my sound didn't work on this last little clip, but here it is. It's all finished. And I added some of the jade pebbles as top dressing, filled it in. And you can see this hanging over in the back of this pot over here. It did really well over the summer last year. It kind of got shaded a little bit from the direct sun, so I decided to do the string of pearls on the back side of the pot too, hoping that will keep them a little bit protected back here. But I like how it looks, and now that it's all filled in with fresh plants, I don't have any empty pots back here anymore. Everything's planted up and looking good. And those little tiger jaws there will fill in, and they're getting a little bit shaded from that mangave. They're protected down under that blue elf. So they should all do really well in that pot. And that's in a spot where I won't forget to water them, because a lot of those plants, they do like a little bit of water in the summer. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great afternoon.